Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a massive celebration stream and a fashion frame contest therein. This is going to be completely unscripted and on the nose, so bear that in mind as we go through this. This is a celebration of 40,000 followers, 1 million page views, our glyph becoming global. If you would like to get access to our glyph, there will be a link down in the description of the video to explain how to get it, as it is now obtainable for all, regardless, as well as an update to the glyph to make a new fancy glyph. This is being recorded on Twitch as well, so if you fancy joining us for events like this, then there'll be a link to my Twitch in the description of the video as well, so feel free to come and join us should you wish to. So, this is a fashion frame contest with edgelord and evil villains as the theme. We have taken over 2 relays, and we will be judging therein. So, we're going to start with Keris, and we're working our way around clockwise. So, Mr. Keris with the lovely purple Rhino Prime, by the looks of it, with the lovely couple of attachments going on there. Lovely colour adjustments with some very nice looking colour balance on the attachments. Got the purple energy flowing on through there. I wouldn't say evil, more so maybe a really edgy hero that just maybe isn't understood enough. Pretty nice though. I love the colour balance. It works really nicely with a slight hint of pink in there as well. Moving on. Now, if I've ever seen an edgelord, this would be it. This would be anime levels of levels of edge right here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I could cut my face on the edge of this character. Not gonna lie, I think the shoulder pads kind of make this work to a T. You could have probably not had the weapon at all, because this basically just looks like some evil villain for an anime of some sort. Lovely look, love the look, love the style. Very evil, very villainous. Moving on, we've got a Revenant. Now, you've gone for a frame that works tremendously well as a villain-type character. However, I do not like the Sindana. This Sindana sucks balls! If you would have gone with the base version rather than the Day of the Dead one, I think that would have suited a lot better. But the trouble is, trying to look evil, having fairy princess Daisy characters on the back that looks like it's been drawn by your little sister doesn't really spout evil. It makes me think that you've let your sister into your wardrobe. It's nice, though. The actual frame itself is great, not including the Sindana. So, good theme, good colour choices. Maybe could have been a bit more creative with a little hint of something else in there, because at the moment it just looked like a shadow, which I guess might be the point. Moving on, we got a Chroma with the Dynasty skin, looking very fancy with all the attachments on there. Looks very evil right off the bat, so it was like sort of something out of maybe a Godzilla movie. Very cool looking, bit plain and a bit uninspired, but still works nicely to the sample we were looking for. Moving on, we got an evil... I wouldn't say evil. This looks, with the amount of gold you have on there, it makes me think more hero. I think if you're going for a villain, you should have gone for more darker set colours instead of the gold, because as it stands, gold makes me think good. And good is not evil, as it may turn out. So, it looks good. The Sindana choice is really, really nice. Unfortunately, the colour doesn't really match to everything else. It's a really good attempt, and I love the actual style of it. The shoulder pads look really weird by comparison. Sorry, the shoulder attachments look really weird by comparison to the rest of the coloration of your frame, so it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But overall, I see what you're going for. It's pretty nice. Moving on, we've got Garuda with the alternative helmet with the golden and gold, white, red, and black color scheme. Sort of looks like something you would have seen from like the original series of Power Rangers. Not too bad, not too interesting, because it looks very similar to the default coloration as it is. The helmet choice is pretty nice, though. I like the attention to making it look a bit more evil than the base helmet. It's a pretty good attempt. Quite like it. Definitely got the evil vibe going to it, which is quite nice. Or with sharp, pointy claws. I guess anything would look evil with that. Moving on, we got a... I thought this was Harrow for a second there. We got a Revenant with the Harrow posing. Looks pretty nice, but looks pretty cool. Got a very opaque and pastel-y coloration going on, which actually works quite nicely. It makes it look like the undertone of the inner segments with the bronze look to it. It looks almost like guts and gore, which is really nice. It actually works quite nicely for a very evilly villain kind of theme. I think you should have maybe gone with a slightly more contrasting energy color, because it kind of just blends into one. But it does look pretty damn evil, and that Sindana does kind of work, but I think you could have changed the coloration of the actual attaching segments to be the same color as the armor, because it kind of just clashes a bit too heavily because of the texture of it. Moving on, we've got evil bondage mistress, anime-loving Val Kitty with the alternative helmet, and the Tenogen Sindana along with the weird looking shoulder guards. Guys, just because you can put something on doesn't mean you should. Although this does kind of work, those shoulder guards in most cases do not work. Although, not gonna lie, in this case they kind of do. They are quite nice. Definitely fits with the aesthetic of the wings on the back, which is quite nice. Lines up perfectly with the silhouette of the character. Yeah, I can see this being a villain. I can see it. You know what? The evilest villain of all is the next one. LaRonda Relay Worker 927. Only someone truly evil would take up this parking spot for 5.5 years. Then we got Go for the Flow with a lovely looking Excalibur. That's Excalibur? Or is that Ash? No, that's Excalibur. Excalibur, and you know what? Normally I hate it when people use differing shoulder guard attachments. Oddly enough, this works. So, this looks really, really nice. I'm not going to lie, this actually really sticks out to me as something that's had a lot of attention put to it. Using the Ash Prime attachment as well for the, the Ash Umbral Ash attachment with the scarf really adds to the edginess. In fact, you know, I could see this being a Final Fantasy character. So this is pretty cool. Moving on, we're going to, ooh, got a very Berserk-esque looking evil demon from Hell's Depths here. You know, I hate it when I normally hate people using a monochrome type coloration palette. But this oddly works, because there's enough deviation in each of the color types to make enough contrast look really nice. The addition of the sigil underneath the arms is also really nice as well. And the white of the energy on the arms also just creates enough of a clash to actually stick out quite nicely, which is super nice. My only critique is that you probably could have got rid of the shoulder pads. They don't really add anything. But they're not the worst choice on the planet either, because you've got some, like, this skin has such nice, such an evil-looking presence to it already. Adding those shoulder pads is covering up the best part of the frame, honestly. You could have probably gone with the Nidus Deluxe Sindana as well, although that cape does work okay with this. It's not the best choice, if it was in my opinion, but it does come across as very evil, which I quite like. Moving on. Oh god, it's the Stalker! Fuck! I'm not ready for this. So here we have a Stalker who has stalked his way into my fashion frame contest. Honestly, from a distance, I would think the Stalker had spawned in the relay. This actually looks really, really cool. I mean, it's Stalker. He's got the fully crafted war. Hunhau's come in to invade us. He's going to nibble our giblets. In terms of creativity, it's not really that great because it is basically just a Stalker mimic. But points for getting that spot on. Now all we need you to do is to completely wipe my team and everyone blame me for not killing it on time. Then we got Inaros. Not gonna lie with this Inaros, it's a little bit on the basic side. It does cover the element of sort of evil and villainous, but the trouble is there's not really much happening here. You got, I mean, I'm gonna ignore the fact you've got an Archoplasmal that's basically sticking out like a sore thumb, but I don't know, I don't see this as being very evil. It's quite noble. I think you could maybe make it evil, more eviler, with a slightly different color palette, or to have added something on the back, maybe the shoulders, maybe a, even a weapon to just make it look a bit more threatening. Because as it stands, it makes it look like you've just signed up for evil villains trainee camp, and you're not quite sure what it is you want to be yet. Moving on, we got a bounty hunter Mesa. The amount of black and purple on this makes it very hard to determine what colors end where and start where. But I'll give you points for that booty. Damn, Daniel. Okay, so it's a lovely look. This new Mesa Prime skin looks absolutely delightful, and that helmet works wonders for an evil villain silhouette sort of dealio. The choice of Sinana as well is absolutely lovely for a bounty hunter assassin type look. My only recommendation is it probably would have been nice to have seen a bit more of a contrast to the purple to the black, because at the moment they meld together a little bit too nicely. I love the choice of silver for the buckles. Really adds to the desaturated look of the metal, which is quite nice. Yeah, only suggestion, either should have lightened one of the black or the purple. Really, either would have worked, but it's a very cool attempt. Very, very cool indeed. I don't think there's really much you could have done wrong here that would have been a bad choice. Moving on, we've got Equinox. Now, this is pretty cool. Got the choice of the mechanical wings looking Sindana, which honestly on this skin isn't my first choice. You probably could have gone for a different set of wings that would have worked quite nicely, but it's not a bad choice either. It's definitely fits the theme, and you've got a theme going on, and the energy flowing through it as well looks quite nice. The horns on the alternative helmet works quite nicely as well, so you know that's nice. I like that. Then we got another Nidus, who for some reason has gone the complete opposite route of the previous Nidus we've seen, and now looks like a bloody tampon. It's okay, but whereas the other one had the right color balance, you've kind of gone the opposite end, and yeah. Unfortunately, there's not much I can really add to this because it is just way too much of one color. I mean, you've got the right combination of Sindana. It looks evil. The colors just completely throw it off, unfortunately. I mean, if you're going for, like, nothing but blood and guts all over it, it kind of works, but you got to have some level of... you got to have something to bring it back down, because at the moment it's just way too overbearing. It's a nice choice, though. Moving on, we've got a very veiny-looking Nidus with the default helmet with a... is that the deluxe skin? No, it's not the deluxe. Is that an alternative skin, or is that his main skin? I'm actually not too sure. Either way, it looked really cool. I would have maybe suggested making the base a little bit lighter because it does stack up a little bit. Whoever this is... actually, no, that works. Can I ask you guys just to double check to make sure you've all got enough spacing, please? Because you guys are kind of piling up a little bit here. Dark One, can you just move over to your left a smidge just to get a bit of space between all of you, please? Enzel, yes, I like this. It looks pretty cool. The blood coursing through the veins, really nice appeal, really nice theme. Very cool looking. Very cool. Very cool. Then we got another Excalibur Umbra with the Dynasty skin on the sword. Nice choice of shoulder pads, very good coloration. Again, the black is a little bit too dark, so it kind of silhouettes everything a bit awkwardly, but looks pretty cool. Looks almost like a cyberpunk-esque evil villain of some description. Moving on, we've got another Nidus with... oh my god, what is going on here? So, right off the bat, something to realize is Nidus is the Nidus Deluxe skin has a lot going on already, so you kind of have to rely on the skin to do the work for you. Adding too much will clutter the frame. With the pose you've chosen and the shoulder pad there, the shoulder pad just doesn't fit. It's simple as that. The shoulder pad doesn't fit in the slightest. Its texture and the coloration on it is all off by comparison to the rest, but not including the shoulder pad, it looks amazing. The coloration choice works really well. Little bits of gold hinted on top of the red. Black on the metal with the slight golden on the actual metal of the Sindana and the neck piece works really nicely. It's just that shoulder kind of messes it up a little bit. Love the fact that you've got the gold seeping through into the skull as well, which is really, really cool looking. Definitely evil villain worth, maybe more from a Godzilla type movie. Another Mesa Prime. Lots of white. Lots of white. Very hard to make out what's going on. Again, just because you can add something does not mean you should. It's a good attempt. I think you should have either got rid of the shoulder pads, which would have been my suggestion, or got rid of the chest piece, but all three of those together makes it very hard for me to put my eyes in a single location. Rapala Sindana, never a bad choice. Originality is nice, and I like the attempt here, but it's not... I think it's just a bit much. Moving on, we've got oh god, another bloody tampon. Jesus, that's an evil demon. So, whereas the Nidus before had too much red going on in a very complex character, this kind of works, but it works because it's a shadow on top of red. And this kind of deep blackness works in this frame because of how deep the black actually looks. I think there maybe could have been a bit of simplicity added with maybe not having the shoulder pads, because as it stands they kind of clutter it a smidge, or maybe remove the chest piece so we can see the stalker symbol better. But it's pretty good. I think just maybe removing one of the shoulder pads or maybe removing the chest piece would have worked quite nicely here. Moving on, we got a Mag Deluxe skin. Not gonna lie, it doesn't really make me think evil villain, more like witch sorceress kind of thing from like Final Fantasy XIV of some kind. In terms of its look, it looks amazing. I love it. It's not really evil though. I think maybe if you would have gone for red instead of the gold, this maybe would have come off a bit more evil-esque, but like, maybe as like a evil queen of some kind, possibly, but it's not really it's not truly coming off as evil to me, more like regal. Well, Warframe, this is Mag. It's a good looking frame nonetheless, though. Moving on, we've got Neza Deluxe with the gold and white. Again, not so much evil as it is just very good looking. It's a good choice. I mean, you've gone with the base deluxe skin. You've gone with the deluxe skin with the deluxe. That's not even Sindana, is it? That's actually what's there normally. Yeah, I mean, you've got a really great color balance. It looks really, really nice, but there's just not much to make me think evil here. It's good though. It's a good looking Nezza. Moving on, we've got Master Animus. Now this is a thick boy. This is a boy that's had his Wheaties. Good choice of weapons that really add to the sort of theme of the villainous look. Maybe more of an anime-type villain. I guess it wouldn't be sort of something I'd expect from like a Western-style thing, but you got the coloration that sort of fits. It's a very Miyu Korizama type villain. Maybe from like a Power Rangers sort of dealio, but it's pretty cool. Can't really say too much about it as there's not too much happening, but it's a good coloration choice, good choice of attachments, just adds to the silhouette, which is quite nice. Then we got another mag with the alternative helmet and a bunch of additions by the looks of it. That's the, yeah, so those are the added shoulder pads. The choice of Sindana is interesting, but oddly enough, it really works, because you've got a great color going through the arms that then leads up into the Sindana, and I love it. The added green is super nice. Again, maybe not so much villain as edgelord, but it's actually quite cool. I'll come back to this one, probably. Moving on. Okay, so I mean, Farscape, I understand what you're trying to go for here. It's definitely edgy. I could slice my cheek on that with edgelord, but I think you could have taken something off here. Because I'm losing my mind with how deep I'm going down into your stomach at the moment. I love the shoulders. I think maybe if you made them as a more orangey color, it would have stuck out a bit more. Because what you've got here, you've got purple. You got so many colors going on here. It's very hard to keep my eye on one thing. You got the orange on the back with the fire. You got the yellows all over the head. You got the red all over the body. You got the purple in the stomach, the gold around the purple. Then you got purple on the shoulders, grey around the purple. There's a lot happening here. There is just so much happening here. It's very hard to focus on everything. It's a really nice attempt. I think there could have just been a change of color somewhere down the line. Moving on, we got another Nidus. Why are we getting so many Niduses? Jesus. We got choice of weapon is a bit interesting, but I'm gonna think you maybe didn't intend that to be there. Again, never a bad choice for an evil villain edgelord sort of look to it. Love the color choices. The yellow really pokes through the darkness of the metal. Love the little additions it makes to the legs there. You probably could have done without the shin guards because they completely clash with the rest of the body, but it's pretty cool. Sindana kind of, I guess, kind of fits. Maybe could have been a slightly different color, but it's a pretty cool look to it nonetheless. Moving on, a very cool looking Necros. Now that is an end boss of Diablo right there. That is an end boss of Diablo, if I ever saw one. And if that was standing at the end of a corridor surrounded by multiple ads, I'd be asking my entire raid to deal more dots! More dots now! Very cool. I don't even really need to go into why this is cool. Anyone with eyes would see why this is cool. So there's like a perfect blend of reds, oranges that are just separated enough to be okay. And sometimes clutter does work quite nicely. I would say maybe the shoulder pads could have been taken away, possibly, but they are quite nice. I think maybe that chest piece the chest part could have been removed, but it all fits in nicely, which is nice. If I say nice anymore, I'm going to shoot myself, Jesus. Very cool looking. Very cool looking. Linessa with a... is that... Yeah, it's Mesa Prime. Jeez. You know what? If this was a regular fashion frame, I would be wondering what the hell is going on the shoulders, but on this skin... I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. And weirdly enough, it actually looks... The more I look at it, the more I like it. I think maybe the black is a smidge too black. And maybe you could have made the wings the same color as the metal you have on your shoulders. It's interesting, I'll give you that. There's just a bit too much black, I think. Because the silhouette works really nicely. And the white of the pattern on the front is extremely...
Okay, that was funny.
time, there's always at least one of you motherfuckers that comes up to me with a pink poxy limbo going, oh, look at me, I'm so edgy, look at me, I'm so unique, I'm so special, I came up to you with a pink limbo, I'm so unique, oh, darling. You're banned, get out, be gone, evil pink limbo, you will no longer win.
Fabulous.
Didn't Rainbow do that last time?
Every time. This is why Rainbow Lucio never wins. Because rather than trying to earn platinum, he just tries to pull a bamboozle and pink limbo my butt every goddamn time.
To be fair, I would have done the same thing if I had a limbo. But I sold mine long time ago.
Oh, Jesus. Alright, moving back on. We got Bangi with an Octavia. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen more Octavia Deluxe skins, because this works wonderfully, and that Sindana from the Nidus Deluxe works really, really great as well. The color choice is absolutely fantastic. Simple, yet effective, and it works wonders. The only thing I could possibly say is maybe having another contrasting color in there somewhere, but that's a really minor nitpick by comparison to what nicely this works out across the board. It's got a nice mix of edgy. Maybe the shoulder pads could have been something else, but because of the flair and the finesse of the frame, I'm not too put off by those shoulder pads. They do kind of clash with the wing, with the back, but, you know, it works still. Moving on, now, this is how you do a Nezza for Evil Edgelord. This is so edgy. I think Limp Bizkit just called me and said, hey, you want to start a band? I don't think the shoulders were really necessary, because this skin has some rather fancy-looking shoulders as it is. The coloration choices work really nicely. That like luminescent green fits in perfectly with this sort of theme. I love the desaturated gold to make it look slightly tarnished, which again works really, really well. I actually really love the choice of Sindana because it fits perfectly within the circle of the ring on the back, and it just adds this like great atmosphere to the frame. Like, it looks really nice, and from a distance you can see just the evil, glinting eyes. Like, sometimes you got to take a step back and just look at these frames as well, because they do look really nice. Then we've got Unit Omega with another Mesa. This is definitely more... This actually is really interesting. Like, this, from a distance, I would have mistaken this for, like, a Ninja Limbo. Like, taking away the Prime skin and using the Deluxe skin with the Prime helmet was a really smart idea, and that's actually a really unique choice. And this is another example where a theme fits perfectly. Edgy, evil, good choice of colors, not afraid to try something a little different. And that is sometimes where the points are earned more than anything else. So really like this one. In fact, it almost reminds me of a character I saw from a Power Rangers thing at one point. So, really good choice. Really good choice. Then we got another Nidus. Edgy, yes. Evil, very. In fact, you know what? This actually kind of reminds me of a skin from PlanetSide 2. It's okay. There's blood everywhere. I quite like it. Maybe a little bit on the nose, but it's pretty cool. Moving on, we got Sarin. If this was a regular fashion frame contest, you would have scored mucho points for the color choices to fit in perfectly. Unfortunately, you look more like a hero than a villain. Not gonna lie, the wings add finesse to it, which don't really scream villain. There's not really much of an edgelord to it either, otherwise you'd be a bit more brazen with colors. It's regal, it's elegant, it's way too heroic in my eyes. It's really good though, I love it. Which relay? This is LaRonda 2 and LaRonda 3. We'll be moving to LaRonda 3 shortly. Avaratu with a Necros using the Deluxe helmet with the Prime skin. No attachments needed here other than the shoulder pads. Oh, okay, you got a few attachments on there. Yeah, maybe a bit much going on here. Like, again, it's a minor nitpick because you've chosen some very minor additions. But I think you could have got rid of the shoulder pads. They just don't suit the skin the slightest on this one. The actual look of the frame from a distance as a whole is really quite nice. It's not too bad, it fits, I think is the best way of looking at it. So nicely done on this one. Moving on, we got oh my goodness, okay, Draxion with a really cool looking frost, almost like a Mysterio from Spider-Man dealio. That's really cool looking. Again, points for creativity. You got the Harker skin with the one of the alternative Tenogen helmets, I think. Yeah, it's like a villain from like a comic book of some kind. Now that's a more Western style comic book villain, if anything. Good choice of shoulder pads. Honestly, on this skin, I don't often see shoulder pads working, but that actually adds to it quite nicely without being too obstructive. The chest, again, in a lot of situations, it's a bit much on a lot of frames like this, but it actually works quite nicely. Color choices are just tapered enough to be interesting while still catching your eye. It's a very good attempt at this. Hey, Twyla, what's up, girl? How you doing? Moving on, we got... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Insane Asylum with a buggy, kind of crazy-looking bug, demon, spawn of Satan, evil, demonic creature of hell. What the shit, dude? Wow, okay. You need to be on the... You need to set your, yourself to Laronda 2 on the EU. So go to gameplay, set yourself to Europe. If you can't get to Laronda 2, go to Laronda 3. I like this. I think it's really cool. It's very different. It's a different approach to the theme. Lovely choice of Sindana. I think you should have maybe paid a bit more attention to the color choices, as this Sindana has a tendency of oversaturating certain colors a bit much. It's a very minor nitpick by comparison, but that's really the only thing I could say. The shoulder pads, again, a slightly different texture, which kind of contrasts them a bit much against the theme of the skin, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's, again, really cool looking. Oh, yeah, I'm doing well. We've been live for, like, 13 hours now. But then we've got Demon Jazz back with a really cool looking, is this... I can't even tell. Oh, this is Garuda, isn't it? Dude, I couldn't even tell who this is. Like, you've converted a frame that looks very simple and slim into this jagged looking hideous thing, which kudos for that, because it's very creative. Definitely looks like she's just been through a bloody battle of some kind. Very cool Demon Jazz back. Damn, you guys are so good at this. Moving on, we've got Skull 1. You know, I've said that Hydroid Prime is impossible to fashion frame. My god. That is cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. That legit looks like something straight out of like a comic book of some kind. Yeah, almost like an evil warrior samurai deal. I like that skull. That's a very, very creative attempt with the Hydroid. Hydroid is notoriously hard to fashion frame properly. And I like that a lot. What have you got on the chest there? Is that... So that's one of the sigils, I believe? Then you got Sindana. I don't think you even needed the Sindana on this one, honestly. Like, this skin just... The way you've done this skin just works to a T. Then we... Oh my... I'm blind. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, that's bright. I mean... Pumpkin King? I will give you 150 points for creativity. Why is it always the Frost that either look shit or amazing?
Frost as a skill?
One part of me wants to gouge my eyes out with a rusty fork, and then the other part of me wants to congratulate him on making something that actually looks like a children's villain. Like, this would be a villain I'd see in, like, Kirby's Adventure or something. You know what? I like it. I really like that. Very good attempt at effort. Very, very good attempt. Then we got Jabes with another Frost with the Harpax in. You know, it's okay. There's not really much going on here. It's a mixture of some nice colours that clash quite nicely. There's a bit of a evil vibe going on. Unfortunately, it's just not quite hitting the mark for what I'd expect. It's definitely works, just not in the way I think you were thinking would work. Because I think what's happening here is that my eyes are being drawn away from the rather regal look of the skin, and the coat is just completely clashing because of the choice of orange. I think if you were going to make this work slightly better, you could have got rid of the sigil maybe, or maybe change the color of the sigil to be orange like the rest of it, because right now you've got loads of orange, loads of blue, and then there's just a massive clump of bright fluorescent blue in the middle of your chest that sticks out like a sore thumb. Or you could have made the body, the coat area sort of fit in more with a bluer color. Yeah, this would have been a lot better with the slightly better color choices, I think. Like, I see what was happening, it just didn't quite hit the mark, I think. Now we've got a rather swag-looking Mirage, very evil-looking, very cool-looking. The yellow eyes peering through my very soul makes me wish that, hot damn, do I want to touch that or do I lose my hand? Very cool. I actually really like the choice of Sindana here. This Sindana is usually something that looks heinously bad on most frames, but with the theme and the style of the frame, it actually fits quite nicely. The choice of shoulder pads, again, very good. The new ones that came in quite recently with Baruch, I believe, or the newest weapons even. Yeah, it's good. Very good. Moving on, we've got a Mesa. Bit of a basic choice of outfit, but it works for the theme, and edgy it is. Color choices, little smidge of red really contrasts against the black and the white of the rest of the frame. I think because you've got the grey on the crotch area, I think that could be matched to the shoulder pads maybe. Because right now you're going red, black, white, grey, and it kind of just distracts a little bit too much. But it's, again, a very good looking edgy frame. God, everyone's clumping up edges. We've got Jason Muswain with a Mesa Prime. Shoulder pad. Okay, so this is where having one shoulder pad can work quite nicely, because having both those shoulder pads would have really been a bit weird. I think maybe the base of it should mean white, or maybe you should have made the secondary of your main part black to fit with it, because it does kind of clash a little bit. But it's not a terrible choice, because it looks like it's coming out of the armor instead, which on this frame works quite nicely. The choice of sigil, maybe could have got rid of it. It just doesn't really add anything. In fact, it just detracts from it entirely. The white mixed with a very bright red is quite nice, especially for a very edgy theme. And, you know, this skin just doesn't work badly for an evil theme either. So, good attempt. Moving on, we've got an Excalibur. I'm going very fast at this point, by the way, because we still have a lot of people to go through. Moving on, we've got a Excalibur with a very edgy...
You heard people getting kicked from our chat, my relay.
I can't help that. They're going to get kicked from the relay. That's on them. We got a Excalibur with a black, with a very cool looking color scheme. Love the Sindana choice. It kind of works quite nicely for this one, especially with the shoulder pads. Color choices on the attachments maybe could be slightly. Although on the shoulder attachments, it does clash a smidge with the color of the going up through the body, but with a bit of an alteration that could work quite nicely. It's just yeah, you know, it's quite nice. For a basic loadout, it works really nicely. And I think it kind of shows that you don't need an absorbed amount of platinum to be able to get all the color palettes to make this work quite nicely. Because a lot of these are very easy. Like, these are all within, like, one or two color palettes, I think. Moving on, we've got... Nezard. I think maybe you could have toned down the red a smidge. I can see exactly what this was going to be and what it is. It's just the red kind of really sticks out a lot by comparison to the base. Either the base should have been slightly brighter or maybe a slightly different color of black. I love the head. I absolutely love the head. The head works perfectly for a very demon-esque look. It's just the body kind of sticks out with the different texture type that it is. And I think if you were going to maybe make this work better, the chest attachment could have been a slightly different shade of red to be more bright like the actual chest part on the shoulders. But it's good. I love the addition of the sigil to place underneath it, which is again very creative. Not a lot of people use the addition of sigils to placement of chest pieces. I like it though. Just maybe tone down on the red a smidge when it comes to the shoulders, maybe. Moving on, we've got an Ash, I believe, with the lovely Tenogen Sindana. Unfortunately, I can't really see what's going on here because you've got your arms folded. But Sigil is a kind of nice choice. I think the actual Sigil itself works if it was a different color, maybe, because it kind of sticks out a bit too much. Edgy it is. Evil it is, definitely. I mean, this skin can work for an evil theme very nicely. Unfortunately, all I can see every time I look at this skin is a happy face looking at me every time I look at that eye, because it's going, oh. But again, good attempt. We got Mysterious with a... What the heck is this? Is this a Mesa? Let's say this is Mesa. Is this Mesa? I can't even tell. That is Mesa. No, it's Valkyr. Valkyr. Aha, there we go. So we've got a Valkyr with that weird looking face flap. Quite evil. Quite edgy. Love the choice of skin for the weapon. Really adds to the theme of it. Very evil, dark, knighty kind of dealio. Maybe like a berserker, which sort of fits the theme of the frame. So very good forethought. Yes. Okay. Xander Kaiser with a lovely looking Loki. Very cool looking. Yeah, that's evil, boss looking. Oh, we got Stuart Samudi in the chat. Excellent. Actually, the choices of shoulder pads and chest piece really work nicely. The Sindana. Oh, that Sindana. Oh, that Sindana. Oh, you had it so good. And then you put that Sindana on it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where's the fashion police? Oh, it's okay. I love the frame. I think you could have got rid of the Sindana, though. That Sindana kind of ruins the rest of it, because it's so different by comparison to the rest of it. Or just change the fucking color of it. What the hell, dude? It was going all... I bet you were hoping I wasn't going to walk behind you, didn't you? I think you were hoping I wasn't going to walk behind you. I see that you were trying to copy the color from your frame, but because it's such a different texture and the balance of colors is so diverse, it just doesn't work, I'm afraid. The frame, majestic. The Sindana, no. The second relay. Moving on, we have Rhine Devil with a rather basic looking Octavia Deluxe. It's a good skin to choose. You've actually added a Sindana that works quite nicely for this skin especially. I think you're going to be maybe a bit more playful with the colors, because this is pretty much as default Octavia as I could imagine. It works to the theme, it works to the coloration. I think just maybe a little bit more creativity couldn't have gone amiss with this one. It's very nice though.
Oh, are we doing Siren's favorite?
Yes.
Yay!
Then we've got a Garuda, a very edgy looking Garuda with the Sindana, the Tenogen Sindana, the really cool looking Prisma shoulder pads. Chest piece works quite nicely, just maybe not in that color. Not a bad choice, not a terrible choice. Color choices: what black, white, red. Never a bad choice when it comes to evil looking frames. I think you could have maybe gone with the secondary helmet. I mean, this one still works quite nicely, especially for the floaty winged theme you've got going. So it works. Color of the claws kind of sticks out a little bit, but it's okay. Nice attempt. Moving on, we got a
Oh, when he oohs, that's always a good start.
Oh. Great success for Samurai Warrior. Hoi. We got a Shogun Excalibur. Now, I'm not sure where the head is. Am I looking at the little ball on top, or am I looking at the chunky thing that's meant to be the neck? Honestly, it's very hard to understand here, because the head just looks like somebody put him in the wash and shrunk his head skull down by 5 sizes. But that aside, it looked really cool. Really awesome attempt at the Shogun-style Atlas. Very cool. Moving on. We've got a very cool looking Excalibur Prime. Now, you get points for having Excalibur Prime because you supported Warframe in the early stage. Unfortunately, this does not look evil. This is a edgy hero. Edgy it is, villain and evil it is not. But cool nonetheless. Good choice of addition, especially using a frame that's been around since the dawn of time. Adding that element across...
You are a rarity to our channel.
Adding the element across the chest is really nice. I like the fact that you... I believe that's the non-prime... No, that is the prime skin, isn't it? Yeah, it's badass. It's edgy. I wouldn't say it's villainous, though. So it covers most of the elements we're looking for. It just maybe could have been a bit more evil. Like, making the blue red and the gold and the slightly redder color would have been quite nice, but it's pretty nice. Moving on, we got a Rhino with a Palatine scheme with a prime helmet. Choice of coloration works really nicely, maybe a little bit overpowering on the gold. If you would have dulled the gold to be a bit more replussant and maybe a bit duller, it would have maybe sticked out a bit better, because right now it just looks like someone's poured hot treacle all over your body. Other than the slight miscolor choice, you got to realize that the helmet does not fit the skin. Like the texture of it clashes completely. Although it does look pretty damn cool as a figure, it kind of sticks out quite a lot, as well as the fact that the yellow on the helmet is a slightly different shade to the color of the Palatine skin. It's cool though. I can see what you're aiming for. But I didn't realize we were doing futuristic-y robo sci-fi villains. Is this Pepsi Man?
Are you on
This is more like a mascot for like some commercial of some kind. I mean, it really does look cool, but it looks like a Pepsi commercial.
I thought you were on Gabibi then, but you weren't.
It looks like an energy drink that's decided to advertise itself in my stream. The trouble is the second, like, initially I was like, it looks like a robot, an evil robot, but now all I can see is a Pepsi commercial. It's really cool. I'm going to give you loads of points of creativity because it definitely comes across as a really nifty looking robot. Like a like really early 90s, late 80s circa robot type sci-fi villain. So really cool on that attempt. Then we got a Sauron who I can't even see because she sat down and the colours are blinding my eyes. Yes. However, I can't make out a single thing that's going on here. Jesus Christ. That luminescent... Yeah, I mean, this looks really nifty. Get rid of the Sundana. Get rid of the chest attachment. This would have looked so much better if I could have seen more of the frame rather than what you decided to cover your boobies with. Because this is... The Grax... Leave. Now. Or face my bloody wrath. You guys want me to put on these competitions? Stop doing this! Jesus Christ. You guys are trolls. I work my arse off to get you these competitions, and all you can do is troll me? Piece of shazbutts. Nice choice of shoulder pad. Adds on quite nicely. Definitely the luminescent colour works quite nicely with this. I just wish you would have got rid of the chest piece at least. Like, the Sundana doesn't look too bad, I guess. It's just that chest piece kind of really irks me a little bit. Moving on, we got a bad boy Chroma. Very edgelord looking. Very cool on the apparel. Definitely villainous. Maybe could have made the white a different kind of white because it's a bit too pure white at the moment. But it's a really cool looking frame nonetheless. We then got another Nidus using a mixture of the deluxe skin with the deluxe Sundana, using the secondary helmet, which is obtained from alerts. Couple nice little additions in terms of the shoulder pads. Honestly, those shoulder pads I'm not too fussed on because they don't cover up enough of the shoulders to get rid of the eyes, which actually works really nicely. And it almost looks like you're giving your shoulders a hat. I think maybe you should have kept off the chest piece because it kind of obstructs everything else and just makes everything meld into one, which is, I guess, what you were aiming for, but it's pretty cool. The trouble is that helmet also clashes quite heavily with the rest of the frame, but it does make it look almost like late 90s style comic book villain style. If you would have gone with the default skin, I think it would have looked slightly better with the theme you were going for. However, it's a very good look. Very unique. And this is Captain Crunch? No, this is Purple Drank. Ladies and gents, we found the Purple Drank mascot. Another energy drink mascot up in the chat. All I'm expecting is somebody to go, oh no, and this guy to come in going, oh yeah! Evil, unfortunately, I can't see this as being too evil. Edgy, definitely. Evil, the purple you've chosen is so fluorescently bright, it sticks out like a sore thumb and makes you look like a plastic toy. But this is kind of what I was meaning earlier when I said that Hydroid is very hard to fashion frame. Because you look at the legs and it looks like he's made of plastic. You then look at the upper part and it looks like he's made out of Play-Doh. And the helmet just kind of adds to that as well because of the different texture it's made with and then the different color you chose for the sigil on the front. It's a really nice attempt, but it's a little bit of a mischoice of color, I think. Then we got Cinder with a rather swag-looking Mesa, if I do say so myself. A little bit on the monochrome of color of choice, like I think maybe slightly spicing up the red as the base would have been a slightly wiser choice, but it does look pretty cool, and I think it might just be the lighting of the relay that might be affecting this slightly. Love the choice of Sindana. The color, the energy color flowing through it works really, really nicely. Good choice of sword to go with it. Could have maybe added a little different color in there because I think it is meant to be part of the theme. Really good. I like this one. Very cool. Oh, damn, boys. We got a smoothie up in this grill.
Ta-da! That's why I asked you.
Now, see, this is kind of what... This is what I was hoping this would have been. This one, I squint and my eyes bleed. This one, I squint and I go, ooh, boobies. Again, this one works tremendously well because I can make out everything that's going on whilst having the silhouette of the black giving contour to the frame. It works really well. And the brightness of the green just absolutely fits to the tier of what we're looking for. Edgy, evil. The wings may be a little unnecessary as they kind of clash with the texture, but because you've chosen such a dark black, it's almost impossible to see that texture, which is really good.
Yeah,
So it's a good way of hiding the texture difference whilst making it still work for the silhouette.
You don't want to upset Smoothie.
I'm gonna if Smoothie had a shit fashion frame, I would say that she had a shit fashion frame. She's been very clever with her choice of colors and frame. Just because another Warframe partner comes in here doesn't mean I'm gonna judge them differently.
No, but this is where you go into her chat tomorrow and she's like, you didn't like mine.
Smoothie, yo, hit me up for that bribe you gave me, alright?
I'm teasing you, Makari.
Everyone's teasing me at the moment. Vexen, get the fuck out of my queue!
He was following you around for a bit.
Ash Greninja with a Mesa that looks like it came out of a Captain Crunch box. Not so much evil, more like Red Power Ranger. Edgy, yes. Evil, not quite, but it is pretty cool. I actually really like the creativity on this one. Sindana's choice is pretty nice. I like the coloration that you've spread throughout it. Using the deluxe skin in this way is pretty cool looking. It adds to a more themed sort of take on it. Although it does miss on the slightly evil villainous approach. But it's still pretty cool nonetheless. Maybe more Japanese anime style fashion frame sort of dealio here. Moving on, we got oh, hello. We got a very evil looking... Damn, this is actually really cool. Now, this is a really nice looking Equinox. I like this. The bright fluorescent red just contrasts really nicely against the subtle white and the really dark black. And Equinox is notoriously hard to get right, especially with how much the colors differ across the entirety of the frame. So, you know, I like this. I like this. I think it's a very cool color balance and one that's very hard to attain. So there's points for using a frame that's hard to fashion frame. Whilst also then making it work. So, good choice in this one. We then have a Necros? Yeah. Necros, it looks like a bit like a skeleton. Almost reminds me of something from Evangelion. A little bit. Like one of the big Bertha monsters that they fight in one of the earlier episodes. I love the choice of the using the Cronin Prime to add to the silhouette of it. It works really nicely for the actual theme you're going for. Color balance was really spot on with the choice of weapon and what's on there. It shows a really good thought of what was put on here. Maybe not so much with the attachment, because I would have loved to have seen that sigil really pop out against the base of the skin. The actual attachment just completely blocks everything and doesn't really add anything because of the completely different texture it is by comparison to everything else you're wearing. The shoulder set attachments I'm not too fussed about because they kind of just add to it, especially because of the weapons on your back. But that front sigil is just a minor complaint. It's just that front attachment could have been taken off. Then we got another very evil-looking Oberon. Now, this is kind of what I was hoping from the other demon-looking Oberon earlier. The red sort of courses through from the underneath. It sticks out. The black counters the red. It makes it look a bit more like blood, a bit more like gore. And there's nothing to really obstruct that really good-looking undertone you've got. Come for another skirmish. I can't, dude. We've already taken it. Sorry, dude. Moving on, we got a evil Berserker Valkyr. Now, this is a really good example as to how you can use a base frame and still make it look really cool looking. And it shows that you don't need to have access to the really fancy skins or the really fancy tones to make something work really well. So I really like this one. So Sirius, very good attempt at a very basic skin. I'm going to give you points of creativity for the sake of using bare minimum and making it work. Then we're going to have a... Oh, okay. This almost looks like a Devil May Cry themed Valkyr. Well, I could see this from like a Devil May Cry game or something. That's really nifty. I like it. Very evil, very themed, very edgy. Actually, you know what? This could... What was that game called where you go to hell and it's all made out of teeth and bones and gore?
You mean the one that turned out to be really shit?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, as soon as I said
Either way,
it,
that one. That one. I like this one. Now we got a Harrow, very evil and edgy. Quite like this one. No, not Dazzle Inferno, not Doom. There was another one that came out quite recently. The one that wasn't. The
It
one.
had
The one
really
that was
good-
shit, not the one that was good.
It looked really good, but then it turned out the gameplay was absolute shite.
No, it wasn't Dante's Inferno. It was
You had to hide a lot.
yeah, Scorn maybe. Agony. Yes, Agony. Thank you. That one. Looks like it looks like it straight up came from Agony sort of thing. Yeah, I like this. Has got a very good theme. I think maybe a bit too much of a regal aspect going on, but maybe more Japanese anime type villain. Very cool looking. And then we got a Necros. A little bit underwhelming on the color choices. I can see what you were trying to go for. Edginess was sort of the aspect here. I kind of like the idea of what you were going for with the color on the front, but there's not enough to really go with it. I think if you maybe had some shoulder pads to add to the orange that was on the chest, it could have maybe helped taper it through slightly, or maybe turning the white of the frame into a slightly darker color could have maybe helped taper it out slightly better. It's pretty cool though. We got a shade. Oh my god, that is like... That is actually really freaking creepy. Like, if you saw that looking at you from the end of your room at the middle of the night, holy shit, that would creep the fuck out
Oh,
of you.
you want about the really cool Mirage?
That is 10 out of 10 creep factor. Like, if I'd set a theme for horror, oh my goodness, that would have just absolutely blown me over.
I mean, that one was the first one to load into this relay, and I was like, shit.
You know what? Honestly, if that replaced Stalker, I would not complain, because that is fucking creepy. That would be straight out of Chains of Harrow. How far are we into the 20-hour stream? Right now, 13 hours, 14 minutes.
He's got another about 5.5 hours.
Yep. Then we got a Rhino. Kind of reminds me of the Rhino I used to have when I first picked up Warframe. Lucio, for goodness sake, dude. You can't win. I'll judge you anyway, but you can't win, I'm afraid. Rules are rules. I've made these rules since the very first one I've done. You'd bring a pink limbo, you're out. Black and red, simple color choice is pretty cool. Shoulder pads don't really fit the skin because of the texture difference. If maybe it was, if you had a different pose, it would probably be, I'd probably be able to see more. It's definitely evil looking, definitely edgy. Just a bit simple, I think. But sometimes simple works, and I like that. One slight problem here as well is the fact you've got a clan regalia on one shoulder and then an energy regalia on the other one, which kind of clashes a little bit. But, you know, it's pretty cool nonetheless. Good choice of skin, good choice of colours. Moving on, we've got an Ember. Oh, boy, okay. I think you should have gotten rid of the attachment on the chest or the shoulders. In fact, I would have said the shoulders, actually. I love the way you've got the fire coursing through one side of the body. That is a really unique approach to an evil-looking Ember. And I'm honestly surprised more people have we haven't seen more people taking advantage of this very obviously evil, edgy theme to this frame. And there's a lot of creativity that's gone into this one. I just think maybe either the shoulder pads or the chest could have been removed. It's just that little nitpick on my end. Then we've got a Limbo. Okay. Okay. Comic book style Limbo. I don't think the shoulders were innately necessary, but they're pretty cool looking still. I love that sigil on the front. That sort of sets a theme to it quite nicely. Maybe a bit too cartoony for making. Maybe a slightly different weapon could have made this feel a bit better, because I think that one just sort of... It doesn't really look very Day of the Dead-y, because I think that's the sort of theme we have here. It's pretty cool, though, nonetheless. Moving on. Oh, God, what's happening here? We've got a Chroma sticking out like a sore thumb in the middle of the day. Very cyberpunk, cyber party. Almost like synthwavy, almost. Edgelord, I'd say it's very cool. Evil, maybe lacking a little bit, but it's still really, really nice. No, the more I look at it, the better. I think the better it looks. Actually, from a distance, it definitely stands out as being quite pronounced. Moving on. Oh my goodness. We got a Harley Quinn, baby. We got a Harley Quinn. 10 out of 10. What's next? You gonna call me Sugar? God
No,
damn.
Pudding!
Pudding, sorry. That's really nice.
You're gonna mention Harley, get it right!
Like, this just covers so many elements of so many themes so well. Evil, edgy, and this would have fit into just a villain theme so easily. I mean, if I think hands down, if this doesn't make it onto the final 10, I'd be doing something wrong. There's so many good people doing today. I like this. That is spot on what Harley Quinn would look like in the future. Damn. I like that. Moving on. We got a Atlas. Ooh, imposing, evil, very stoic. Good choice colors, black, red, white. Always a basic, simple thing to go for it, but it works every time. Most of the time. Nice choice of Sindana, really like that it adds on to the already tapered look of the red that you got speckled over the frame. Shoulder pads may not be necessary, as they look a little bit, it looks like to be fair, like any shoulder pads on Atlas always look too small, but, you know, it's okay, it kind of adds at least a bit of a silhouette to the character, which is quite nice. It works, I like it. Moving on, oh boy, Demony Sarin. You've made a frame that doesn't always look like a demon, look a bit like a demon. There's a couple of big problems. That sigil, get rid of it. Or change the colour to red. Because you've gone red, yellow, red with slight yellow and white, to then have a massive blotch of green in the middle. And I get that the energy colour is kind of a yellow, but because of how much green there is, they look almost two different colours. Like, it looks like the ones on the frame are more yellow, whereas the one on the front is just a flat green. I think if you made the one on the front either direct red or gotten rid of it entirely, it would look a lot better. But it's still pretty good. I like it. Moving on. Okay, again, it's an angel. It's kind of villainous. It's this skin sort of just screams Japanese culture, mythos. Not so much villain, definitely edgy. It just, unfortunately, it looks way too regal to be evil. I mean, it is imposing. It is very, very imposing, and I like that. I love the choice of Sindana, actually. In a normal fashion frame contest, this would look beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's nothing wrong with the fashion framing itself. It's just not quite evil. Edgy, yes, though. Moving on, we've got a Sarin. Again, using basic colors to pull out a really nice aesthetic. The colors, again, they're paced enough to not overtake the frame, but stick out just enough to draw your eye to them. The shoulder pads work really nicely. I like the use of the glaive skin as well. Sindana works quite nicely for this theme as well, and it's overall pretty good. Nothing overly complicated, nothing underappreciated either. So it's good mid-strafing. Then we got a demon from Flamer, Titania, the regal, elegant-looking frame.
Now, where did you start?
Oh, some shitbag advertising there streaming my channel. It's fine. I like it. Very black-red all over. Worked quite nicely. Thank you, Lucio, for banning him, by the way. Appreciate it, dude. The only downside is you've got butterflies all over you, which don't really help the theme of a demon. But
they might not be butterflies.
oh, evil butterflies! Woo!
I was gonna say they could be moths, because you know moths eat your clothes.
I quite like it though. It's definitely very evil and villainous. We got okay. You know what? Edgy. This sort of reminds me. This sort of makes me think of something that would be from like a really child-friendly anime, and this is like the main protagonist's direct rival. Like think The Last Airbender, and think the people trying to stop them from going to the fire temple. You know, it's a very good way of making use of just a simple skin, not needing to add anything to it, but still making the color palette work to a theme. I quite like it. Moving on, we got a Power Ranger looking Excalibur? No, Ash. That is an Ash. And it works. I mean, the gold maybe could have been a different color. Again, gold is good. Gold is regal. I think if you made that white instead, like the sigil on your chest, it would have fit a bit better. It was pretty cool. Very edgy, very evil. So, I don't even know if this guy's actually in the contest, honestly, but I'm going to judge him anyway. It's not evil, by any means. It is quite edgy. It just doesn't quite fit the mark of the theme we were looking for. It's nice as a fashion frame. Like, holy shit, if I saw that in my mission, I'd be like, that's a nice looking Excalibur. Overwatch Excalibur. I can see that. I can see that. Alright, then moving on, we've got Azrael010 with a very evil-looking Titania. I quite like that. Normally a frame that's there to help you and heal you. This one just suck your blood. This is a vampire. This is an EV Trinity. This is the one that sucks you dry, then converts you into life force. Okay, so I think we have judged every...
Please ignore the middle. I'm being trapped by pink.
Hey, Dima, what's up, dude? Long time no see. Alright, do I have everyone here? We got Estelle, we got Draxion, Go for the Flow, Blackwing, Neospace, Xenosage, Smoody, aka Kitsune, Gildart, Bambigi, and Sirius. Excellent. Okay, cool. So, all 10 of you did immensely well. If one of my mods could gift each of these people 1,000 top hats for getting to the final 10, that would be immensely appreciated.
Hey, Greta, you got 2,000 top hats from this. Woo! I try to make them sound more fun than they are.
Now, only 3 of you can end up winning something here. And I would like to again give a massive thank you to everyone who tuned in for this. So big old thank you. So 3, 2, 1. The final 10, reaching the top 10 of all of the almost 100 players we had enter this. We have Neo Space Ranger, Blackwing, Go for the Flow, Draxion, Estelle, Sirius, Bamgi, Gildart Anon, aka Tsuki Shiro, Smoody, and Xenosage, all of whom were my personal top 10 choices, although I don't think there are 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know what, F it. This amount of people. But only 3 of you can win. So in 3rd place, with my 3rd top frame for this, we are going to have... Blackwing! Blackwing in 3rd place. With a very themed Equinox that's very hard to get right. I really like the attempt on this one. It was the perfect choice of colours with just enough of a tertiary colour to make it stick out, with the perfect choice of helmet that looked really, really nice. So, congratulations, Blackwing. In 2nd place. Get the fuck out. What are you doing? In 3rd place, we are going to have... Draxion! Sorry, 2nd place. 2nd place, my apologies. 2nd place is Draxion, with possibly the most boss-looking Frost. Can I point out that I've been live for 13 hours now? Really amazing looking Frost on this one. So congratulations, Draxion, for 2nd place. Could you join our clan dojo after you're done? But of course. It's been so long since I watched the stream. Nice coat, by the way. But thank you, Antares Eclipse. And in the final spot, in 1st place, it's Harley Quinn, Neo Space Ranger. Congratulations for the most themed, evil, edgy, perfectly themed frame for the contest. It just, as Bethesda would say, it just works. So congratulations, Neo, for 1st place. Everyone else who made it to the end, you've all received top hats and my undying love. And if I was still giving out glyph codes, you'd all have gotten a glyph code as well, but I can't think of anything else to give you other than my utmost thanks for pulling off some amazing fashion frame contests. So all 10 of you, what I want you to do